Hello everybody. People are not possessions. People are not perfect. People are frequently far, far from perfect. People are not what you project. They are who they are. And everyone is a train wreck. Everyone is a mixed bag of good and bad. And it may not be your preference of good and bad, but it shouldn't make a difference by and large, because you are not in charge. The only thing you're in charge of is yourself. And you can choose who you do and do not include in your life. However, once you've picked your particular train wreck and roll with it, collection of good and bad attributes, knowing that you have them too, positives and negatives, and the more you get to know each other, the more of those will come out as the hormones and chemical cascade of newness and fascination and curiosity dampen down, and familiarity begins to grow. The high wears off, and you actually have to build a relationship, camaraderie, commitment, intimacy, companionship, a connection with this other person. That's when it gets complicated. And the more things that you know, the more things it becomes readily apparent fall into the bad or negative or not exactly what you anticipated or projected you wanted category. Because you simply know more about them. You spent more time together versus what you imagined they were from the get-go. And your positive chemicals were worn off, so you're seeing them with more transparent eyes. But you have to be able to accept the trade-off, knowing full well that you yourself have inequities and flaws and negative attributes and annoying habits and all sorts of things that don't make you the best friend, partner, sibling, co-worker, boss, employee all the time either. That you would hate to hand over your heart to someone, to allow them in past that innocent associate sphere to truly vulnerable commitment, companionship, friendship, deep intimacy, trust, and vulnerability, where you take your heart out of your chest, place it in somebody else's hands, and just hope that they don't crush it and throw it away. Drop it on the floor and stomp on it. And the deeper the commitment, the longer the investment, and the deeper the vulnerability, the closer the bond, the more you have opened up and handed your heart over, the more you cross your fingers and hope that when they see the whole crazy bag that you are, and that you will always be, because we will always continue to grow, but we will always continue to need to grow. We will always continue to unearth, turn over another rock, and see another problem. We're never perfect in character. We've never ascended. Things will shift, times will shift, your character will shift, your situation will shift. Your behaviors and attributes will shift. Sometimes you'll swing to a positive direction, sometimes you'll swing to a more negative direction, and things will get harder. Over and over and over again, like throwing your clothes in the washing machine. Things need to be rejuvenated, redone, re-inspected, revitalized, renewed, readjusted to make the relationship continue to work, be it a friendship, a partnership in a professional setting, or in a romantic sense. Continued objective renewal, adjustment to shifting situations and circumstances, acceptance of new and different things that you uncover, and growth and change in new directions, positive and negative, again and again and again and again. And you just as you wish that as the years pass, they continue to want to not crush your heart that they have in their hands and throw it away the more they uncover, especially if things go wrong, such as, for example, with me and my relationship. You become a burden, physically ill, burden, more than you can contribute, or at least as much a burden of as a contribution. You're a sack on the couch. Can't even talk most of the time. You do nothing. You better hope that you've got the kind of person in your life that recognizes that we are all train wrecks. Sands of time change. We all have good and bad. Things happen. And you do not, unless something is consciously, intentionally, or even unconsciously, if it is extraordinarily toxic, throw people away. In sickness and in health, until death do us part. If you are so lucky, you continue to do the work. If you are lucky, they continue to do the work. Even if you are not able to pull your part of the relationship. Even if they turn over a rock and uncover a stone that really annoys the crap out of them about you. That they don't throw you away. People are not possessions. No one is perfect. Everyone is a mess. It's about finding the mess that you can be compatible with. And when new negative attributes come into the relationship, someone that can help to support you to be the best version of yourself. But we have no control over other people. We can only control ourselves in the relationship and hope that they follow suit. We can be supportive of the good parts of them and accepting, unless it is abusive, toxic, detrimental to your own safety, life, happiness, sound mental and physical welfare and emotional welfare. You don't just pick people up and throw them away simply because you treat others as you would wish to be treated, and you would not want someone to do that to you, regardless of your imperfections. And the closer the relationship, the longer the investment, the more you have exposed yourself, and the more you have experienced life with this other person, the more you hope and pray that they do not just throw you away like a used tissue. So you should not do that to other people either. Get to know people slowly and sensibly, so that if there is something extra caustic about them, something that just rubs you the wrong way enough that you can't bother to be around them, you don't want to continue the relationship, exit appropriately. And if you have got to know them slowly enough, you can just exit because you're not intimately tied with them. You don't have a deep bond with them. A 40-year friendship, a decade-long relationship. But also you don't owe anyone your soul, your safety, your sanity. Don't let anyone abuse you just because you have a long-term investment with them. That's also not acceptable. We flee from danger. No one deserves to be mistreated, regardless of how long you've known them, regardless of how many good things they have done for you. If they have done unspeakably evil things to you, you have a right to your boundaries, to your safety, to your body, your emotional, psychological, and other welfare. There's no tolerance for abuse. However, you can't just toss people out like used tissue. You certainly wouldn't want them to do that to you. It's excruciatingly painful. And you need to go through periods again and again and again and again and again in a relationship. As everything changes every few years, like the cells in our body overturn every 7 years, we're a completely different person. Every cell in our body is different than it was 7 years ago. There's transitions that happen in our neurochemistry, and our intimacy, and our familiarity, and in our personality. What we are doing, and our physicality, how healthy are we? Things change, and the dynamics need to be reintegrated, almost like getting to know each other all over again. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Quote of the day: people, even more than things, have to be restored, renewed, revived, reclaimed, and redeemed. Never throw out anyone. And they need to have that done. I need to have that done. We all need to have that done. Over and over and over again. In a slightly deeper, slightly different conception. In the same relationship over time. Restored, renewed, revived, reclaimed, and redeemed. And we need to make sure we're actively trying to do that to our nearest and dearest over time as well. Restore and renew them. Help them build faith in themselves, their strength and their positives, minimize and get rid of some of their negative things that are harmful to them, help them to help themselves, help their good characteristics, rejuvenate the relationship, reclaim them, let them know how much they matter to you, reinvigorate the relationship, add new and spontaneous and unexpected things, learn new things about each other, shake things up a little, and redeemed for our wrongdoings. When we enter into a commitment, especially something like marriage, when we say I do, we're also saying I already forgive you for most anything. We will work through it. Because they're human and it's only a matter of time before they hurt you. Or before they do something gross, like sit on your face and fart. Because people are weird, gross creatures. And they will hurt you, they will disappoint you, they will show up late for dinner, they will do ucky things. And then it's just to be expected sooner or later. It's just a matter of time. You got to be mature enough to work through that. and move on to a leveled up relationship with them, a more intimate, more vulnerable, more connected relationship with them, because you have crossed that threshold. Rather than throwing them out for this discretion, you faced it, you addressed it, you worked through it, you navigated the complicated emotions that went with that on both sides, and are now more connected than you were before. So try to treat people very carefully when you choose to leave or end an association. Try to do it with decency and dignity. Try to hand their heart back to them rather than throw it on the ground and step on it. And before you move forward to deeper and deeper commitments with people, try to get a feel of whether you're going to want to do that to begin with. Whether you're going to mesh well, so you can try not to get to know people that you're just going to end up discarding down the road. If you took a little more time, you could see some of them more clearly. Things that just are not going to go well together. Oil and water, and you might gossip, and that gossiping just drives you nuts. Don't bother getting to be close with them at your office, because it's not going to go well. Try not to throw people away. They're not disposable, just like you're not. People, even more than things, have to be restored, renewed, revived, reclaimed, and redeemed. Never throw out anyone. If you walk away kindly, appropriately. Try to do so amicably, where everyone's dignity is intact as best as it can be. And be willing to do the work when things get uncomfortable. Be willing to accept that people are going to hurt you, people are going to screw up, just as much as you will. And you don't want them to run away from you for doing so. So don't run away from them for screwing up or not being perfect. It can help you become closer if you face those hiccups. Good morning, goodbye. Hope that made sense. Love you guys. Have a good day. Peace.